Hey, sisters! What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today, I'm gonna be doing a movie review, actually two movie reviews, on Gods of Egypt and Norm of the North. In my quest to look for terrible, terrible movies of the 2010s, I have come across two epically disastrous movies in the year 2016. Anyway, yes, I will be reviewing many more shitty movies. What? Anyway, yes, I will be reviewing more shitty movies in the future, like movie 43, Fan 4 Stick, 50 Shades of Grey, The Twilight Saga, and also other bad movies outside of the 2010s time period, like the classic movie, which is The Room. Anyway, without further ado, let's start off by talking about Gods of Egypt. So, Gods of Egypt is essentially a movie about Greek mythology, about how Horus apparently there's these gods who are larger in size, who can transform into these creatures who have powers and all. And then we have mortals, these human beings who are normally sized and, don't have any powers. One day, the god Horus was about to be crowned as king after his father resigned. And then suddenly, his uncle Set popped up out of nowhere and tried to become king and gouged his eyes out and actually became king. And he's this evil, authoritarian, torturous, crazy, killer king that sucks. And then we have this mortal person who loves a person. And this mortal person, his name is, I think his name is Beck. And Beck wanted to save a girl who's in Set's hands, and he wanted to overthrow Set with the help of Horus, who had his eyes gouged out. So yeah, we have the very cold-blooded, the very crazy, whack, psychotic, cruel king played by Gerard Butler. And then we have Horus, the cool, badass, good guy played by Nikolai Coster-Waldau. You may know him as Jaime Lannister. And we also have the mortal, who's really just a mortal. Yeah, this movie sucks. This movie absolutely sucks. Seriously, the only thing good about the movie is the whole Greek mythology lore, which looks pretty good at the beginning. It's really grandiose, it's really epic and all and shit, but at the end, I must admit, this movie totally disrespected Greek mythology. It's such a disgrace to Greek mythology. It's so disgusting and grossly depicted. A lot of the things about the movie are actually just straight up wrong and inaccurate. Yeah, I'm not like an expert when it comes to Greek mythology, but come on. Come on. Yeah, anyway, first of all, this movie does not engage with its audience at all. Nothing about the movie is actually interesting other than the lore itself, which is already pretty bland after a while. Not a single character is interesting. Not a single plot point is interesting. Nobody rooted for the good guys, and the bad guys in the movie isn't even like that evil. Like, I know he's like killing people and stuff, but like, we've already seen this kind of story for like 10 million times. And yes, there are scenes in the movie where it's like Indiana Jones, where the main character has to solve these puzzles, like these death traps, and it all just happens without any explanation, and it's just so anticlimactic and dry and drab. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actors in this movie are good actors, okay? But geez, the performances in this movie, it's all overacting. Gerard Butler is always overacting and throwing in all these trash one-liners. Nikolai Coster-Waldau is a good actor, but again, he plays this trashy, uninteresting character with all these cheesy-ass dialogue, and then we have the mortal, who's just a mortal, and he's always not doing anything, and Chadwick Boseman is in this thing. Like, I can imagine that this movie is the greatest regret in Chadwick Boseman's career. Just, geez, he plays the god of wisdom in this movie, and he's always acting like, ooh. Like, Set and Horus were fighting and stuff, and another woman wanted to stop the fight, and then Chadwick Boseman's character popped up out of nowhere. That would be unwise. Ugh, man. The writing is sloppy. There are a lot of scenes and action sequences in this thing where the main characters at the beginning were like, as much as I want to do this thing, like, I just can't do this thing. I just don't have the ability to do this thing. And then at the end of the scene, they suddenly have the ability to do that thing. And it's just like, whoa, it works now. It totally works. And the action sequences in this thing, all the dialogue stuff, they are boring. They are boring, cheesy, and actually hilarious and cringy. And then we have the action sequences, which are total disasters. They are basically a blob of CGI, like a huge, fat blob of CGI thrown at your face, spinning around like you're in some sort of simulator washing machine or something. Yeah, and this movie is so bad, it's actually hilarious. It's actually a really funny movie. I love how arrogant and over the top the movie is. The movie is just so sure that it's so damn entertaining, so damn good, and it's so prideful in that. Turns out this movie totally sucks, and the fact that it's so prideful and braggadocious just makes the movie way more hilarious, and not in the way that the writers have intended. So, yeah, it's a cringe fest. Nothing about the movie is good. The editing, it's bad. The CGI sucks ass. The dialogues are crap. Nothing makes sense. I'm giving Gods of Egypt a 1 to a 2 out of 10. Also, let's talk about another trash movie, Norm of the North. And Norm is a polar bear living in the South Pole in the Antarctic, and he's a polar bear who twerks while listening to his iPod. And then one day, yeah, he wanted, to be cool. He wanted to be a hero and all. So he decides to go to New York to stop a land developer from building houses in the South Pole. As much as I'm laughing right now, this movie is the exact opposite of funny. Not only is it mostly boring and lazy and slow, all the jokes are so dumb and so cringy. It's an insult to my IQ. And even kids do not enjoy this movie. Kids do not enjoy this movie. Do not bring kids to watch this movie. Do not even watch this movie, okay? Just, oh man, this movie is not suitable for kids. It's not suitable for adults. It's not suitable for anyone because no one will laugh at it. Only an infant would enjoy this movie simply because there are things happening and moving and shining light in the screen. Yes, this movie is absolutely horrible. You can already tell it's horrible from the beginning when Norm wants to hunt some food and it just ends up as a stupid ass, long-winded roller coaster ride. Yeah. And then there are 3, like, Arctic hamsters that are sort of like these sidekicks sidekicks to Norm. And man, not only are they not funny, they are annoying. They are absolutely obnoxious. Oh man, the directing for the movie, the animation of the movie is absolute garbage. Like, every scene ends and begins with a cross dissolve. And then the animation isn't even good. It's so clunky and the resolution is bad. And what really, really sucks is that the story makes 0 sense. The story totally doesn't make sense. And, usually when the story makes sense, at least some action sequences are still pretty fun. No, there are little to no action sequences in the movie. It's not entertaining at all. It's just a polar bear and 3 hamsters just lurking around in New York City, cracking some of the dumbest jokes you have ever heard in your life, and it's total trash. And I feel like that this movie is a direct insult to my IQ. I couldn't count how many brain cells I have lost while watching the movie. I just can't. This movie is trash. Gods of Egypt is trash. And this movie is also a 1 to a 2 out of 10. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on Gods of Egypt and Norm of the North? From 1 to 10, how much you rate it? Like if you like them. Why? Hate if you hate them. And subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.